Wana hashte. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wana. Oh, yeah. Oh, mitakipi. Wana. It's been too long. Wana hashte since we started here, and it's good to see that we're all here back together and starting again, and we're still looking forward to our new year. Our new year is coming up in spring, and we got a chance to celebrate the the modern New Year, the Washichu New Year, which is good. You know, we still get to celebrate two different New Years as being Dakota people, and so. But we were talking about that just today. Wow, we're looking forward to the coming season here, the springtime, our Dakota New Year, when we go back into renewal and to heal ourselves at that time. It's a very powerful time for our people in the springtime when we're healing ourselves. There's an energy that comes when we heal ourselves. And there was wakia, when the wakia come home. When the wakia, you can say wakia. When you hear them, they say that's the beginning phases of the new year. But Unka and I were sitting here talking and visiting, and we're talking about our language, and they say this you could see why our language is really going, dying out. It's because the English language is so powerful. We're using it all the time. That's what makes you money. That's what gets you business. That knowing good English, that's what gets you a good job. All these benefits to knowing English. And so what benefit is there to learning Dakota? That's the big question. And for many of us, it's hard to explain it, but it's a spiritual awareness. It's a spiritual understanding. It's an understanding of your connection to the land, connection with nature, connection with your ancestors. There's a feeling of love and togetherness when we talk about Dakota language. I can really say that Dakota language is about togetherness, community, togetherness, uh, commonality, common ground, connection with one another. That's really what it's about. But if you look more along in the English language, the English culture, it's more along the lines of monetary. We call it utilitarian. Utilitarian is more along the lines of what can I get from you? Instead of, you're a relative and I'm a relative, and I'm gonna help you live and you help me live. We look after each other versus what can I get out of you? What can I get from you? And we kind of use each other in that culture versus Dakota culture, more community, common ground, common understanding. They say a civilized society has a high respect for life. That's what they're saying. The more advanced a civilization is, the more respect they have for life. And so this is why I say Dakota are very, very civilized. We were always very, very civilized because we have a high respect for life. We'll put our life aside to help 30, 40 people, to take care of people. We that's just our nature. There's so many stories of our warriors, our people giving up their lives to help another. And if you think about that, those of you out there that maybe have an unkan or a kunshi, they might be in a wheelchair, and you're helping that kunshi and you have to put your life aside for that person. That's real strong wodakota right there. To live for each other, to live for each other is a very, very beautiful way of life, and that's the life that we're trying to work towards bringing back. And especially, when we're talking about this one here, what we did the last time with the kinship, to start kind of referring to each other in these ways, instead of just saying, hey Rick, or hey Joe, or whatever. There's a sense of belonging that comes with our language. It makes you feel a part of something very important. And so that's a very how what we were kind of talking about. And they say the proof is in the pudding. I heard. You need people when we've our I've heard this before. Our grandpas went off to a meeting somewhere a while back, and they said that if we are not practicing our culture anymore, and if we're not practicing Dakota anymore, then that means we're not going to be Dakota. We're not going to be indigenous. That we're not going to have our rights that we have, and so in a sense, we're just going to have to survive on our own, just like everybody else. You know, there's no more handouts for anything. It's just you're all on your own kind of thing. And so Uncle actually showed me his shirt, his sweater that he's wearing here today, and if we can get a camera to kind of zoom in, or maybe if you can come stand up here, Uncle, and then we can talk about this. But you know, I think we need to get more sweaters and shirts like this that talk about, you know, a lot of our grandpas, you know, they warn us and they tell us about things until you actually look at, you know, these actual quotes that were said. This is something that was taken off the internet. Somebody found out the quote and where they cited it. You know, they found their citation on where it says, but it talks about that. If you no longer speak your language and no longer practice your culture, then you have no right to demand Aboriginal rights from us because you are assimilated within the ruling power. And so that's the kind of threat.
What are the Aboriginal rights, right?
Free housing,
Free education.
yes, yeah, free education,
Yeah, and all
yeah,
those free things that you. That's what
health,
he's talking about.
medicine. You know, you should have to pay for yourself. You know, because you're just like all of us. You know, you live our
That's why
culture.
we should put a value, and we
Yeah.
should put a value on the language and culture because of this.
Right. Yeah.
That's how important it is.
Right. Yeah. So if anybody's saying, you know, like, you know, what's the purpose of the language? It's not only a spiritual. I think that is my reason, my purpose, why I'm learning my culture and my language. It's spiritual, because I just knowing that my great grandpa talks Dakota. I want to talk that language. That's the language that I want to talk. That's the language that connects me to my ancestors. And not only that, but it's the language that connects me to the Zitkara Oyate. We talked about that as well before, as well, where the Dakota language, when you learn Dakota, you're learning to connect with the Zitkara Oyate, the bird nations, the bird people. And in that nation, they speak at a different frequency. I would say a high intellect. Nature speaks at a high intellect. They're very, very, very smart. Spirit is the intuitive nature that nature, what they have. It's very powerful, and so that's what we wanted to talk about as well. The because I know for me, for me, like a lot of us, so hard to stay motivated, so hard to stay focused in learning our culture and learning our language. I'd say it's one of the most difficult tasks is to stay motivated and focused on our language. And and the sad thing is too is I kind of feel like maybe our our fluent 100% language speakers are kind of isolated. We don't have a chance for all of us to come together, the language speakers, because you know, even just last night I was visiting with a Tahashi, and he was saying that his dad talks on the phone all the time with his Tahashis and, you know, different relatives in Dakota. And I was like, that's what we need to hear. That's I wish I could hear yours. I told my Tahashi, you're so lucky if you could record that even. You know, it's so important for me to hear that. You know, because for me, you know, and I've been telling this to Ozzy here, is for myself, I sit at home and I study the best I can. The words that my sons, my kids know, that's the words that I use, but I don't have a chance to sit around and talk Dakota all day long. It's quite a difficult task. So, and it's getting kind of scary for me anyways. So that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about here in just opening up, and just to say how thankful that we are to be back on. We have till March here. We're going to be continuing on. I did make the slides. They are. I did have them ready, but I didn't have a chance to have them ready here today. But I do have some. And so I do have slides with the nouns. And so that's just to increase our vocabulary with nouns. And so also, for on a personal note for myself, I'm very much a dog person, and I said the only people I get to talk to is with dogs. And so I do have a dog, and it turns out a dog can learn up to 500 commands. And so, especially a higher end, like a border collie, actually can learn up to 1,000 to 1,500 commands. And so I was like, it would be really interesting to work for some of our people to work with dogs because I know there's a few of us that are very much dog people. And my son really pointed this out. He said before we had the shunko akan, the horse people, we were horse people, but before that we were shunka. We were very close with the shunka, the dog. And a lot of our teachings, the Wa'unshida, came from observing the dogs and how they would always have compassion. What would it be the word for forgiving, by the way? Wa'unshida would be the same. Yeah. Wo'akiktuje. Yeah, to kind of let it go and let it be forgotten. Wo'akiktuje. Wo'akiktuje. That's a real good. Whenever we say a nice word, new word like that, I like to write them down and kind of akiktuje is the word. Do. Yeah. But there's that word woe. Whenever you hear that, it's almost like a law or like a rule or like a woe akiktuj. Like, or if you said woe ashte, kind of thing like that. Good, woe akiktuje. Akiktuje, yeah, to forget. Akiktuje. We'll do that conjugation later on for forgetting. Maybe, I saw that conjugation. We'll do the word for forget. Uh, and to remember Wakesuye and all those ones as well. I think we did that one already actually. But to forgive and forget, to move on. I don't think we ever really fully forget, But some of us, if you truly love somebody, sometimes what what did you do 10 years ago? I don't even remember. You could truly really move past that. Yeah. Oh, to wash. Yeah. Yeah. You jaja. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think that word ja is too almost like it's make it lighter. When you clean something off and it kind of becomes brighter, in a sense. So that's kind of like the origin behind that yujaja is to wash. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate the questions. And so, right now, so this is what we're talking about. Is to have that ability to move past our grievances and move forward into the future. And this is why I always like to talk about that in the beginning when I speak somewhere. Is if I've ever hurt somebody in the past, I amichukte, amichi. Let's do that one. Mm, that's a good one.
We see like the creator in the prayer. There's an I and a C.
Amichi. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a nice one. Yeah. Here's a sound, by the way, that you don't really hear even in Dakota. Ktung, ktung. That's like, I barely have you hear that sound. Ktung. By the way, those of you that are learning these words, uh, focus on these certain sounds like tung, ga, ma, and here's a new one for me here today. Ktung, ktung, ktung. That's kind of like a TD and the N and the ktung, ktung, ktung. Inebriated. Ktunje. Oh. Oh, okay. So yeah, they would use that word for being kind of drunk, Yeah.
Is that supposed to
Uh,
be an A on the end or an E on the end?
A.
ja, yeah. Ami chi ktu ja. Is this a hard chi, or it's just no? It's just a soft one, right? Yeah, chi. Okay, that note again. By the way, you can write it how these sounds, how it sounds to you, if you want to do it that way. Ktung, I really don't know how I would. Uh, you could spell it like maybe e like that, like soon. Like in a sentence. I don't know how you do it, but ktung. That's a real interesting sound right there. That you don't never hear that in English at all. Good to practice it. Ktung, ktung. Amici, amici ktuja, amici ktuja, ktung, ktung, ktung. Yeah, and it's gonna happen with time, right? It'll happen with time as you work. Ktung, 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 ktung. Yeah,
The male is Samichik, for example.
yeah. Well, yeah. This will be more of a command here. Yeah, if we turn it into a command, wool, and or bull, talking to more than one person. Amici ktu, amici ktuja. Yeah.
Kind of sounding it out.
Yeah, try to figure out how you would make it sound that works for you. Yeah, ktung. But for me, it makes sense with the little that this little N here. You make a little nose out of it. Make sure your nose vibrates. Ktung, ktung. Amici ktuja.
If you say it with the po on the end, then that's for a man.
Po. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Po. Yeah. If you're talking to two people, po. No, yeah, po. Here's a good topic for that one. There's two words, po and po. This po here has a little bit of a B sound to it. Because if you say po, that's like saying fog. Fog. Yeah, po. Po is fog. But oh, yeah. 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 So it's just like different. Yeah. So this bowl, the bowl that you're gonna be putting at the end, like wachipo, you'll hear at a powwow, wachipo. He's telling everybody to dance, hey? And so that one you'll hear a little bit of a B in there, in that P. Po, po, po. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, this it's one of those synonyms. So just yeah, keep that in mind on that one. Amici ktung ja wo. Yeah. Oh, huh. So, yeah. Um, pretty cool that we have a whiteboard here now. Turns out that we're gonna be moving too. We're moving up into the radio station. This building is gonna be used for something else here soon here, so we'll be happy to. It'll make it a lot easier for our tech guy. He doesn't have to move around too much. Yeah. Um, so yeah, we'll start working on some of our nouns here. We'll get a few of them going. Um, we've already talked a lot about these, and I think a lot of people know these words. So we're just if we very common. So we're just gonna go ahead and swing through them really fast. No discussion, because I think we've already talked uh, a lot about. But this is on the slides that are going to be coming up. We got the one for chair. This is an interesting word here. I wanted to talk about this because here's another one of those words that have chang kanya copy for chair. Wiaka. Now here's another one. Here's a word for sand or gravel. Wiaka. That one kind of messed me up when I was learning that one. Sand or gravel. This one, wiaka, you'd have the emphasis right there. Wiaka for feather. Wiaka. Wiaka for feather. Wiaka. Wiaka. So when we see this little mark right here, that's just telling you to say this first and take a little pause, and then yaka at the end. Wiaka, wiaka, wiaka for feather. Plume as well.
Plum is different.
Plume is different. What's plume?
Wachihe.
Wachihe. Wachihe. Let's do that. Wachihe for plume. What's that? Plum. Wachihe for plume. Wiaka for feather. And so this, you'll notice there, so for the word for gravel, very similar. Wiaka. Wiaka. Yeah, wiaka. And so this is a kg here, ka here. Not ka, but wiaka. Wiaka. Same thing here, the G, the little G here. Wiaka. Right, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're learning like how I did through learning through books. Is to learn through books and then you take it to an elder later on, then they correct you. Yeah. But for the most part, when I first started saying this, I think everybody that's learning always said wiaka. The desire is to say that wiaka, wiaka, and wiaka. So yeah, this is the word for sand. Or pebbles, I guess you can say, or pebbles, small little pebbles. Wiaka. See, we yaka. We are. Ka. See the pause here? Yeah. We are ka. We yaka. Right, yeah. So yeah. We are. If you consider for sand, you say we are. Get used to saying that and then ka later. We are ka. We are. Yeah. We are ka. Sand or pebbles. Wiaka. Wiaka is feather. Wiaka. So let's do the difference. Wiaka. 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 Yeah. Hear how there's a little difference. Very similar how they look though. So that I think a lot of people has mixed these up recently. It happens a lot. Magaju. Oh, maga. Yeah. Goose. Mag. Yes. For what? Oh, field. Field. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's do that one. Yeah. That's the. I was thinking of this word this morning. That's weird. You brought it up. Maga. This one, maga, is yeah, goose. Goose. Maga. It's good to practice that. Maga. 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 So here, you'll notice when you say it like that, maga. You hear the tiny little pause. Maga. So that's what that tells you to do right there is pause it up, right? Make a little pause. Maga. Now, if there was no pause, it's all one word. I guess you could say the pause is at the end. And so this one would be field. Field of dreams. A field. Kind of makes sense. They sit in fields too. Similar words, yeah. So look at that difference there. Maga. 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 Pop my ears here. Maga. Maga.
Magawa Magata.
Hmm?
Magawa Magata. Here's the city in the
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Magawa Magata.
Let's put that down.
What he said.
Oh man, sports injury here.
The goose is sitting in the field. Magawa Magata. Magawa Magata. Did you hear that?
Yeah, okay. So like here's the maga for the goose.
Is it just that maka
Field.
itself or
Yeah. Magata is
Maga. Maga. This word right here, we talked about this in another class. It's the word for at. Magata. Magata. Maga. Magata. Yake.
pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Sitting. Maga. Magata. Yake. So yeah, that pause, there's no pause here. If we put that pause in here, it sounds like goose. But there's no pause here. This little mark here is not there. Magata. Mag. Magata. Magata. At the field. Goose at the field is sitting. Yeah, you gotta remember, we're talking backwards here. But actually, we kind of used to say we're the right way. English is backwards. Used to say, yeah. Because if you look at this, most of the ancient languages spoke in this same poetic way. Yeah, French, German, Spanish, all ours. English is the backwards language of the world. Makes you wonder why. Okay, let's do another sentence like that. Cool. All right. Okay, so those of you that are at home, if you're on your computer, you could take a snap, right? You could take a snap of your screen. If you're on your phone, you could take a screenshot of these, and then you'd always have them on your phone. If you can read my chicken scratch writing. Michi, let's break this one a little. Let's practice this one just a little bit before we can go move on. And it'll be the word for forgiving or forgetting or moving on about something. Ami chiktunja. Ami chiktunja. You say it real slow like that, right? And you work it out. There's a pause here. Ami chiktunja. Mi chiktunja. Mi chiktunja. Mi chiktunja. All right. Good one. Good one. You know, you can say something, Oka? Okay. Um, my daughter came up here to visit, and it's amazing how like the words we use change our environment. And she said a word today. I was like, "Okay, honey, I'll be out in a minute. Just hold on." And she said, "Take your time. Take your time." How often do we ever hear that on the res? Oh, take your time. Normally it's hurry up, Kwano, right away, now. We had our ancestors had that saying or that way of life where take your time, or dokshta. That's our word for that. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because um dok dokshta or doshta. This is Sioux Valley more popular Doshta, hey? Yeah, Doshta, Doshta. Yeah, you predominantly use this one, if you can. But yeah, it's just one little saying like that. If somebody's trying, like you feel like somebody's in a hurry and you don't want them to hurry. You want them to just take their time. Ah, doshta, doshta, don't worry. In other words, most people think it means no. Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of like a good way of saying, don't take your time. Don't rush things. And I think if we were to use that kind of vocabulary in our families more, and your daughters or son or somebody's getting ready in the morning and you see them that they're panicking and they're getting stressed out, that's one thing we want to avoid in the family home is no stress. Enough stress out in the world. We don't need it at home. And so that's the one thing we can do is just to slow things down. Dushta, this it'll be okay. It's a good way of reassuring everybody. And then take your time. There's a philosophy behind that of no rushing. And it was real nice that uh, uh, my young daughter just to bring that up. 5 years old. Take your time, Dad. No, how many often do you hear a little young kid say that? So it really meant something to me. And I thought, geez, that's what we need to bring back into our homes. That word, take your time, like no rush. And I know, Elton's real good at that. Take your time, guys. Just no, don't panic. He's pretty good at calming me down up here by saying that. Not panicking. So, anyways, that's just one word there that I wanted to bring up. But what was that word that we were just saying earlier before? Uh, with we were gonna. Yeah, yeah. What was the sentence you said?
Viaka, and that's for feather, and viaka is sand.
Yeah.
A sentence will be like, viaka ki viaka ed vahadushna.
Oop, this thing likes to bounce around. Wiaka king wiaka
Ed
wiaka ed
vahadushna.
wahadushna.
So you shouldn't drop the feather, but that's what it talks about.
That look good.
Vahadushna. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Wiaka king. There's that word for it. We talked about this one here. If I'm hoping some of you out there are really 100% following the classes because we went through these words. You should be like, oh, there's that word key. We studied that word already. We already talked about that. And this word here, we went through that word already too. Ed. Ed. Yeah, and we talked about that. It's something, a word within, right? Could be, there's a few meanings with this one. Hey, like within or in or there. Yeah. Yeah. And then so this is the word here for the. Not like chanupaki, the hokshiraki, the boy. Yeah, we talked about that one. Wahadushna, to drop. This is the word here for drop. This is what Nan and them talked about, by the way, where we'll take big long sentences and break it down, how we put them. That's the next. We'll get there. We'll get there. So here's that word for feather. And sand. All right. So wiakaki wiaka ed wahadushna. So you kind of hear that's a real good sentence to really practice those two differences between wiaka and wiaka. Real good one there, huh?
When they, I first dinner, she was telling me about you, like how good talker you want to be. Like I told her, like right away, I told her, I wish I was like him. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like I want to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Practice it up, brother, man.
right
Yeah.
now, like I'm slowly practicing
Mm-hmm.
my Dakota, and our culture,
Mm-hmm.
or Dakota. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Watch it off.
yeah.
Wow, stay groovy
Like
with me. Hey.
I realized, like say example, when your guys are not around, who's gonna take over?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah. Us, our generation.
like
Yeah.
I said right away, I said me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I just want to say this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Mm,
Appreciate that. Uh huh. Yeah. So, here's a word here. We'll go back into our little bit of our nouns. Shota. Smoke. I hear there used to be newspapers called the Shota. Yeah, I think they even have one down south where they called it the Shota because they used to use smoke signals, right? Shota. Shota is the way we used to. If you see little puffs of smoke over the horizon, and then there'll be certain designs, you'll see the smoke and how it's looking. There's
yeah.
messages in that smoke, and how they're making those messages. So Shota. So keep in mind, it's not Shota. Shota. A little bit of a D in there, just a tad. Shota. 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 Shota.
Shota,
Yeah,
shota.
that's for smoke. A lot of you guys know this one already, I'm sure, but we're gonna put it anyways because there's gonna be a few that don't. Maraju. Maraju for rain.
Wait, is that for smoke?
Shota.
Yeah. I thought my dad was saying soda.
Sota. Right, yeah. I think that's kind of a lot of times people say that because there's no SH, right? So,
Yeah,
and a lot of times people don't write that little dot on top.
yeah,
Yeah, just like a lot of times
yeah.
people are saying
Soda.
wasichu now. That man, that's what is it? It's supposed to be washichu, but you hear a lot of people wasichu, or they'll say sicha, but
Yeah,
shicha, not sicha, shicha. Now you hear like, oh, those people are acting sicha over there. The shicha is the word on that one, and so I think that's just coming from these little how it's spelled, hey, not understanding the little dot that goes up on top. Yeah, I think that's where that comes from. But I've heard so many bros say it over the years. I never correct them because no matter what, speak the language. You can only correct. Sometimes you correct, sometimes a couple times, but after a while, you just kind of they'll figure it out after a while.
You don't pronounce the SH like
Yeah,
shota,
yeah.
and it's sota.
Oh yeah.
Sota is depleted, eh?
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Sota. Here's another one.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, mini sota. So like water's all gone, depleted out, gone. Sota. Yeah, that's right. Sota. There's a da at the end. Sota. That's a good one. I've heard that many times. Gasota. I've heard it said that. Etaku ka.
Oh, that's sota.
Oh, okay. Uh huh.
You smoked it up.
You smoked it up. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
You get your brother help. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sota.
If you're talking and making a speech or discussing something, wala wahadasote.
Wahada sota.
Depleted. That's
I'm de-
100%
yeah.
off, you know?
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Man, we should go. I'm gonna go back to this word here. It's like I'm depleted. How many people feel that way right now? Wahadasota. Like I'm depleted. Like I'm drained out.
Never feel like that again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mazaskawa Hadosa. I depleted all my money. Yeah, holy, that's going to be a popular word for all of us after Christmas. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So here's our word for meat. Tado. Tado. Real easy. A lot of you guys must already know that, but we're going to put it on there for the record. Tado. 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 Oh, lost my place. Where we go? Dakushicha. It's kind of like a word for dakushicha, but it turns into one big word now. Dakushicha. For garbage. Trash. Dakushicha. 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 Garbage or trash. Dakushicha. Looking for a charger? I don't know. I don't think. Dakushicha. Dakushicha. Trash. Garbage. Dakushicha. A lot of trash laying around. Takushicha wanke. Yeah, a lot of trash placed around all over, put all over. Takushicha wanke. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like a we can call that the dump that, hey? Takushicha wanke. Yeah. A place where it's trash all over, put down. Wanke. Wanke. The word for just dirt would be maka. Same thing. Hey, that's a same thing. Hey, yeah. The word for earth and maka and or dirt and maka are the same. So if you see dirt, you could still call it maka. The name doesn't change. Maka. Maka.
Is that for trash or
The word for trash is takushicha.
oh,
Yeah, takushicha. Yeah. Maka. For earth, maka. Maka. For earth, maka. Do a few more and take a little break.
I don't smoke anymore, so I don't give birth.
Tate. Oh, good. Yeah, doesn't smoke. Tate. Here's a good question I was going to ask Unka. When you say tate is wind versus tate ampa. Windy. Tate is wind. Tate ampa is windy. Yeah, that's good. For wind,
Is that spelled like Tate? Yeah.
tate. Yeah.
Tate.
Yeah.
Is that like say T into D? Tate.
Yeah, yeah. Tate. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You got that right. Yeah, T, a regular T, and then this second T is kind of like a TD. Tate.
Yeah.
Tate ampa. And yampa. Tate ampa for windy. And then we'll do another word just for wind.
Yeah.
Tate. I heard somewhere sometimes, or some unka say, don't name your child Tate. You'll never see him. And I said that to a young man. His son's name was Tate, and I said, I bet you he can't sit still. He's moving around all over. He said, yeah, that's him. Real powerful. You know, some of the names we call our children, you know, it's real meaningful to the point where they'll even the characteristics of that person. So maybe if you name your child Tate, they might become a world traveler or something, kind of a scout or something. Somebody that's always going around traveling around all over the place. Yeah. Our names are so powerful. Yeah, and so here's our word for Zitkada. I hear there's a lot of Sisituan that live here in Sioux Valley. Uh, Traditionally, you hear a lot of the Sisituan Zitkana. Zitkana. Even though it's, or Zitkala. Dakota say Zitkana, but Dakota will say Zitkana as well. So if you go down to Sisseton, you ask the kids down there, they'll all say Zitkana, Zitkana. But here in Sioux Valley, I've always heard Zitkada, Zitkada. It's kind of a word that you need to practice too. It's a little bit different than English. Zitka, tka, tka. That sound you don't hear too often in English. So it takes practice to say that one. Zitka, zitkada, 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 zitkada. Here's a word for track. I think we talked about it already a little bit. Oe, 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 oe. This word here, by the way, we, sounds like blood. So it sounds like back in the day when they used to track things. They used to shoot something and they'll find blood splatters all over the place. And tracking, hey, they do they're tracking for such and such a game. But that's the word for our to track. Oe, oe, or a footprint, yeah, a print of some kind. Track. Car print, you can say oe as well. Hey.
That means footprint.
Yeah, or track.
Yeah, yeah, some kind of like an imprint on the ground.
Like a tire printed away.
Oh, yeah.
This was an interesting word for me. That's why I wanted to bring it up because it could mean two different things. Again, oh, menisquia. Boy, that really messed me up when I learned that word because there's nothing sweet about salt at all. But that was the word that was used for salt. Menisquia at the table. Menisquia. One of the first words I learned. Menisquia. I was about maybe 12 when I started to learn the language a little bit here and there. Menisquia. Menisquia.
I'm not sure, but maybe, you see these, okay, there's patches of salt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think back in the day, I'm not sure, but maybe not Dakotas, but somebody made salt out of these
Mm-hmm.
salty ground areas. You see them patches of white
Right.
ground.
Yeah. I'm sure we had salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they use the water to wash it off.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's where Minisquia comes from.
Menisquia. Oh, yeah. So we already had our way for that, our word for that. I often wondered. I was thinking, boy, imagine a life without salt, Hannah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. But the tendency you're gonna want the desire is to pause these or separate these mini skuya, but it's all one word. So you could say it's put that dot at the end that kind of reminds you that there's no pauses. Mini skuya. It's all one.
That could mean a sugary tasting and salty tasting.
Oh yeah,
Depending on what you're tasting.
sugary or salty. Yeah, yeah. Because it sounds like sweet water at the same skuya. I mean, I read skuya. I mean, I used to hear it from the little ones that's skuya, and that's it's the sweet ones when they were sweet skuya. Yeah. But so anyway, we'll take a break. Take a little break here, then we'll continue on. Oh, watch it. Oh, mitakupi. Ready to start again. Um, we had a word that we are kind of thinking about for a carpenter. Tichage was the word that was used at one time here. Tichage, almost to like to build or to make a house, to make a house, to build a house. That's the word for tichage for our carpenters here in the community. Tichage. Those are the carpenters out there. Would like to know those. Know that one. And of course, we have a lot of our words like that. Eventually, we're going to get into. We've talked a lot about it already, but our maza wakan, the gun, real the basics. It's kind of a running out of space down here. Wakan. And I've heard a lot of the grandpas talk about that word wakan. In Christian sense, it means sacred, just sacred, and it is sacred. There's like a mystery behind it. And one elder explained anything that gives and takes life. And so it's like that really helps right there. Like anything that can create and take a life and give a life, that makes sense why they call the gun Mazawakan, because it takes and gives life. There was a life giver for our people, saved a lot of our people, helped our people. The gun. There's apparently some of the farmers in the area still have some of the guns from our grandpas in the area, and so some of them still talk about what our grandfathers had: the Winchester gun, the Mazawakan. It's like a repeater. Mazawakan, Mazawakan, and then other words. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this top part here. So I just wanted to bring this word up again earlier. Again, doshta, dokshta, kind of like a word for you'll see it's going to happen, and it's kind of like a reassuring kind of a word too. Sometimes people abuse this word and just use it to get rid of you, though. That's what I was kind of talking about. Doshta, like I'll look into it. It's kind of like a Dakota word of saying that. I'll look into it, but meanwhile, you're not going to do anything about it. But for the most part, though, Dakota, we're honest. And if a man said Dushta, I'll look into it, he's gonna do it. Yeah, he'll do it. It'll happen. And so, words are powerful. The words that we use can really change the dynamics of your relationship with your family. So we just recently started getting these books and such. Wowapi is the word that they gave them for book. Wowapi. Wowapi. I wonder what the literal translation would be for the Wowapi. Yeah. What to you? What does that sound like, Darren? Oapi. See, that's a beautiful thing. So here, Oapi. I remember we were talking about that. Oapi. To mark is to mark something. Yeah. And then the markings. We just talked about that with your Kushi. Hey, she used to make markings on the wall, and then the sun would she'd be able to tell the different when the sun is okay. It's time to plant. It's time to harvest, or it's based upon the sun where it's traveling in the home. So they used to have markings for that. Oapi. So Oapi is to markings of some of such. Probably we had the pictographs as well in the old days. You know, face paint, Oapi. That would be Oapi. Okay. Yeah. So Woapi, it makes sense that they use that word for book. Woapi. Woapi.
So where does
Woapi.
Awapi come from? Is that one of those ones?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the root word right here for this one, right? It that because my question for him was, where did they get how? Because we had no books, right? Where did they get it from? But the word is markings. So they would consider like the writing in the book like little markings. So really what we're saying is markings. When we're calling it a book, we're calling it a series of markings. Yeah.
Also, it's a page of like that wall page, like the text, wall page.
Yeah.
So wall page is a book, and
Well,
a page is a page of scribbles.
scribbles and such. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For child, I've heard different words for children, and so I'll bring up the throughout my studies and my life here. Uh, Down south, I noticed they say wakanyaja. Down in Lakota country, I hear wakanyaja, kind of like holy lights, hey, or like they're kind of like a light, a sacred light, sacred light. And then here I hear shichecha.
Mm-hmm.
She. Remember when I was talking about anytime you hear this sound, it has something to do with like a compassionate kunshi. It's funny that this word here, shiche, is there too, right? Shichecha. Yeah, so it's like compassionate. Like for me personally, when the kids are playing in the home and you hear them playing outside, that's a beautiful sound to hear that children playing. So it makes sense that this sound here is used to describe children. Shichecha. Shichecha.
The way I would understand it, that is that Wakanhaja, we say Wakanhaja here, not down in South Dakota it'll be Wakanhaja, but
Mhm.
here it's usually pronounced Wakanhaja.
Wakanheja. So
Yeah.
it said that here as
Yeah,
well. Hey?
Wakanhaja.
Wakanheja.
Wakanhaja will be the Omopa, like the babies, right? That's Wakanhaja. Shichacha is the ones that are older,
Mhm.
like Takoja over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're able to run around, play around. That's shichacha.
And Hokshiopa.
Hokshiopa is the
The
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Let's put that in here too. Sometimes I've heard people say they always refer to babies as a boy still,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like Hokshida.
Mm.
But I don't think even the word for Hokshida sounds like a boy.
Mhm.
But to me, that it has something to do with their voice, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Hoki,
Hokshi. Yeah.
kind of like uh, Hokshiopa. Hokshiopa for baby.
Yeah, baby.
And then I've also heard one word, chincha. Chincha for children.
Yeah, chincha. It will be yours.
Yeah.
Ni chincha.
Ni
Your
chincha.
children. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chincha.
Yeah, me chincha.
It's an offspring.
Yeah, so this will be for my own
Yeah.
children right here
Yeah.
on this one, chincha.
Offspring. Yeah.
Yeah, offspring.
Chincha. Yeah. Mi chincha. Or
Yeah.
He chincha.
Yeah, all right. So that's kind of like a little bit of words there if we can use for children and babies. Most common though, unkan would probably be shichecha now. Here, shichecha, yeah. And of course, if there's more than one, again, we just add the
B. Yeah.
shichechapi, 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 shichechapi shkata, play shkata. And I know we talked about this word already before, but we'll do it again. The car. Is it Iechi? Here we chaka, Iechi kopta. Yeah. Iechi kopta. And then there's a few versions of this, right? Iechimini, I heard too.
Ichimani. Yeah.
Iechimani.
Walk by itself.
For a car. Iechimani.
by itself. Ye change by itself.
Ye change
On
by
its-
itself.
By
Hey,
itself,
that's
on
a
its
good word.
own. Yeah, on its own.
Ye change.
Yeah.
Let's do a word. That's a word in there by itself. Ye change by itself. Ye change money. It goes by itself.
Yeah.
Walks by itself. Yep. And then I have on, I'm just going based upon the chart that I have, the uh, PowerPoint with all these words. I have on there wing, hupahu,
Hmm.
hupahu. Right there, there's a root there. Hu is a leg.
Hmm.
Hu. There's a leg. Hu.
What is the hupa?
Hupahu. Wing.
Oh, wing.
Yeah,
Wing, right?
hupahu.
Mhm.
Oh no, this is different. These are all separate. Hupahu is the wing. Yeah. Hupahu for a wing. Hupahu. Hupahu. We might as well do arm. Isto for arm. Isto. Isto. All right, like I said again, you guys out there with your screens, you can take a screenshot. Xbox, it's on the bottom. You can take a screenshot on the little on the thing there. If you're on a PlayStation, where's the screenshot? I don't know where that is. But on your phone, you can do a screenshot, zoom in here, print it out, or whatever you want to do.
Actually, oh, never mind. Let's say I want to take a picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can
Go ahead, you can take.
Can you rewrite it? Like,
I can't remember what I had up there. Might as well take a picture of what's left.
Just go on YouTube and search up.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
go on YouTube later and
Okay.
search it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. On YouTube it'll be.
Yeah.
Joe.
I always have these questions in the back of my mind, and I hold off when I get to visit Unkan, and I would like to say that too. You know, I live on the east side of the res there, the reservation here, the reserve, and I always invite our elders to come and visit me, come and hang out. You know, because just to get a language speaker to sit with a language speaker to me is gold. You know, just to have that 20 minutes, an hour, or whatever, that's I value those times very much. And so just wanted to extend my invitation to any of the elders in here in the community, and we'll eat well anyway. Tayo mamutapi, pero,
Oh.
yeah. When? Tuhan.
yeah, win.
Tuhan spag. So the question was that we hear a word like this, wode, for food. People are going to ask the difference between wode and woyute. And that was one question. I was like, what's the difference? I wonder what the difference was. So that anyway, you can, whatever you think on that one. So that was one question that I had, but this is the basic with the word that we have for food, wode. This is why it's here, wota, to
Yeah.
eat, wawate, I eat, but wode would be the word for
Wodwai.
wode wai,
I went to eat. Yeah. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to eat. Yeah.
We had that cho sentence there. I don't think Nan forgot that one. Wode wahi.
Wodwai or Wodwahi.
Yeah, I came to eat. And so So what's the difference here? Woyute and not much of a difference, you think?
Not much of a difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is there
Wo is yute of course is eat
to eat?
to eat. Yeah. Wo is whatever, huh?
Yeah.
Not
So
specific,
eat
but
and then just like food.
yeah,
Okay,
food. Yeah.
makes sense. All right. Those are little questions
Yeah.
here that we always have when we're learning.
Anything that's edible will be wo.
Right.
Wo. Yeah. Wo yute.
Whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, huh. Okay. So the other ones that I didn't really know too much because I don't use them. Fork, tukiha,
We chape.
wichape.
We chape.
Yeah, this is where I come here to learn. Wichape.
Chop.
Tukiha would be the spoon, right?
Tukiha.
Because it was the little. That's right, tukiha. That's right. I purposely try to look like a fool in front of everybody here, just to.
Chape is stab. Chape.
All right, yeah.
Chape is stab.
Right here, that's good to know those words. Stab.
Yeah.
But yeah. So fork, we chop it
Yeah.
to a fork. Yeah.
We chape.
We
Yeah.
chop it.
Yeah.
We chop it. We chop it. We chop it. So there's a. It's not we chop it all one word. There's a break
Yeah,
right here.
we chop it. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
We chop it. Yeah, we chop it. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Like, how do you say um, sober and smoke-free in Dakota?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tawaching or something like
Yeah.
clear-minded,
Yeah. Is what? Sober?
sober-minded, clear-minded. You're not
Clear-minded, yeah.
influenced
Yeah.
by anything.
Yeah.
Can you write
Clear
it down
mind.
for me?
Tawaching washte.
Tawaching.
Let's do that one. I would use that. I chokata nawaji. I would use that. I'm centered, you know.
Yeah.
That's another one I would use. Chokata nawaji. That's a good topic.
That's how you say it?
Tawaching. Tawaching is a good mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mind is good. Clear-minded, sober-minded.
Yeah.
And then chokata nawaji, I would put you're centered.
Yeah.
That's a good way of saying that you're you're not under the influence of anything. Hey,
Yeah.
you're centered, your
Yeah.
mind. That's another good way.
A word could be also bedeza.
Bedeza.
Yeah. Clear-minded.
Clear-minded.
Yeah. Bedeza.
Is that W?
Bedeza or
Yeah.
bedeza?
Bedeza.
Bedeza.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one. Bedeza.
Yeah. Bedeza.
Yeah, those would be theirs there.
Is that W right there or U?
W.
W?
Yeah.
Maybe after I'm done, you could take pictures of it. Right. Cool. Good questions. Everybody has to deal with dust in your life. Dust. Makabobadu.
Hmm.
Makabobadu. Makabobadu. Dust.
Mm-hmm.
Makabobadu. Can you say for like can you use this word for like snow when it's snowy like that? Like bobadu would be like
Yeah.
fine
Wabobadu.
wabobadu. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wabobadu. Bobadu is kind of like scatter.
okay.
Yeah.
So bobadu is scattered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Scattered. Wabobadu. Makabobadu. Dust. Makabobadu. Makabobadu. I've heard there's people that have that name, Dust. I've heard a story. I've heard a real cool story of a particular kunshi that lived here. She was a medicine healer, and she worked with dust. Makabobdu. That was her medicine, dust. Go figure. Heard some real cool stories. It's almost unbelievable. Some of the stories you hear, how powerful our community was at one time. You know, the medicine people we had here and the ceremonies we had here are just phenomenal, amazing, magical.
That's because we had the language.
The language
Yeah,
brought that,
that's
hey?
important.
The language was
Yeah.
powerful, yeah. The language, connection with the land. Yeah, very, very powerful. Yeah. Word for stone. I forgot to put that down. Yeah. So the rock. Next time you see the Rock on WWE, Ianki.
Yeah.
Ianki, the Rock. Ian.
Yeah.
Ian. 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 And then we have for our hunters and stuff, I put on there tachcha. Tachcha for deer. Tachcha, tado, deer meat.
Mm.
Tachcha. Tachcha.
Oh, right on.
Tachcha. Tach. This word here, cha, that you'll hear that a lot. Even for example, for flour, wachcha. Wachcha. Moose, ta.
Ta, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was asked about that not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. How do you say moose? It's ta.
Ta. Yeah. Ta. Just like you're saying meat. Ta.
Ta.
Tado. Same thing almost. But yeah, here's your word for moose, flower, deer, spoon. Oh, we didn't do isang
Isan, yeah.
for knife. Isang. Isang for knife.
Isan tanka, that's the Americans.
American. Isang tanka. I remember Ukana saying Isang tanka ta iai. He went to the States. Yeah,
there's
it's a
the
big knife.
Sword, yeah.
Their swords, those Americans and their swords. Big deal with their swords. Isang tanka.
Yeah.
Still kind of bitter towards those Americans. At least the ones that messed us are the cavalry, anyways. Isang.
Yeah.
Isang.
Or Mina.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the other one. Mina.
Mina.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
One. Mina. And earlier I brought up the gun, but I didn't bring up the bullet. Su, maza su.
Yeah.
But that's, you can learn, there's two words there. You learn iron seed. This is also the word for seed, su.
Yeah.
Maza su. Iron seed. Literally what we're calling it. Maza su. Anything, Unkan, that you'd like to share before we kind of close things up? Maybe we'll close things up a little earlier tonight. Kind of dealing with a sports injury here. Get what I get for skating. It's taking me longer to heal now. It usually takes 2 days. Now it's like 10 days just to heal something. But yeah, anything you wanted to share?
Well, just only that now that we've learned verbs, the action words, Now we're learning these nouns, right? I think these are called nouns, what I would urge the listeners to do is to really learn the words themselves and try to match it up with the verbs, the action words, and try to make short sentences. Just practice, practice, practice. Say the word out loud. Or practice with somebody, your tahashi or somebody, and just keep on practicing. That's the only way to learn. Yeah. So there's many words we're going to learn yet. So practice that short sentences.
Be our word for doing something or practice. I don't know.
Akihide is repeating.
Akihide.
Repeating. Repeat.
Akihide.
Repeat.
Oh man, I like these.
Akihide.
Akihide.
Akihide. Again.
Akihide.
Repeat.
Do it again,
Akihide.
again, and again.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, mitakupi would say, I always say, taya be well, and be healthy, make good choices. That's I worry for our relatives now because there's so many of our relatives not doing too well, and I was like, this is a good opportunity to speak to our families out here in our community here in Sioux Valley, and also the relatives down south that are listening to take care of yourself and take care of each other the best you can, and we'll be able to have a good life for each other. So that's why I always say that. So
How?
washte do.
Washte.